Okay, so you want to open a daycare. You picture a heartwarming business where you get paid to watch children play. On paper, childcare looks like a gold mine of steady recurring tuition. Parents pay thousands of dollars a month, and your raw material costs are just juice and crayons. It seems like a simple, bulletproof neighborhood business with endless demand. The problem is, a daycare is not really in the child watching business. It is a highly regulated, labor dominated logistics operation with razor thin margins. And the operational overhead is governed by strict laws that you cannot optimize because the moment your staffing ratios slip or a teacher calls in sick, the math of your facility collapses instantly. Your fixed compliance costs do not stop when enrollment drops or a virus hits. The landlord still expects the rent check on the first of the month. The utility company still bills you for commercial heating and ventilation. Your licensing fees and compliance software costs never take a break. But working parents do. And if you cannot offer the exact schedule they need, they will find another center immediately. That is what makes daycare ownership so incredibly complex. It looks like a simple service business with captive demand. In reality, it behaves like a high-risk liability trap with tight capacity caps, where every classroom layout and diaper changing station must meet state codes. When your enrollment is fully stabilized, the revenue feels like clockwork. But when your lead teachers walk out for higher wages, your business shuts down instantly. So let us start with the first critical question. What are you actually buying when you lease a daycare space? Most people think they are buying a building with a nice fenced playground. That is not really what a professional daycare facility is. A child care center is a tightly controlled safety and sanitary envelope, designed entirely to meet the absolute strictness of state licensing rules. It requires a mandatory indoor square footage per child, packs the outdoor play area with expensive fall impact turf and safety barriers, and then monetizes your community's desperate need for child safety. The high friction security entrance that parents expect. The strict zoning requirements for multiple hand washing sinks in every room, the expensive fire protection systems designed for non-ambulatory infants, the upfront financial barrier of converting a standard commercial building. In a regular office, plumbing and flooring can be cheap and basic. In a daycare, every fixture must be custom scaled for early childhood use. That structural constraint is where the real business begins, because it explains why the physical setup is so unforgivingly expensive. A suitable property in a stable middle-class suburb will command premium prices before you even purchase the first crib or plastic changing table, and a childcare business cannot hide on the second floor of a building. Fire codes demand direct, ground-level exits for all non-walking rooms. In locations with dedicated off-street drop-off zones for safety, where parent vehicles can stack safely without blocking public traffic lanes, that usually means retail corridors with strong neighbor traffic and clear physical frontage. The exact same parcels of land that national drive-through chains are competing for, and once the municipal engineers review your water demand, the upfront costs spike. A daycare facility is a heavy consumer of municipal water resources. It requires child-safe water temperature loops, multiple hand-washing sinks, and heavy utility access. Many cities charge exorbitant impact fees based on your licensed child capacity. These city fees alone can easily consume $50,000 of your seed capital. Before you begin to paint the classrooms or install the security cameras, you are not just renting square footage. You are installing a high-capacity industrial ventilation and water heating layout. The city will monitor your sanitation systems for proper chemical disinfectant levels. So you must invest in highly specialized, certified commercial-grade plumbing. Then comes the most rigid constraint of the entire business model: the state-mandated staff-to-child ratios that determine your maximum revenue. Childcare laws are designed for safety, not for business optimization. If you operate in California, the law demands a ratio of 1 teacher to 4 infants. That means the maximum gross revenue you can generate from 1 infant teacher is strictly capped. If tuition is $1,500 a month, one teacher can only bring in $6,000. And that infant teacher's salary, benefits, and payroll taxes must be paid out of that $6,000, leaving almost nothing to cover rent, utilities, insurance, and administrative overhead. Infant care is almost always a loss leader designed to attract families early. You make up the margin in the older classrooms where ratios are much higher. In a preschool room, the legal ratio often shifts to one teacher for every 12 children. Allow a single staff member to bring in $18,000 in monthly tuition. This ratio cliff is why daycare owners are constantly trying to age up their enrollment mix, but managing the classroom balance under strict state ratios is a logistical nightmare. This brings us to your single largest operational cost: labor. Finding and retaining qualified childcare workers is an ongoing industry crisis. State licensing requires lead teachers to have child development credentials or college degrees, but the low tuition margins mean daycare workers are among the lowest paid professionals, leading to an annual employee turnover rate of over 40% in many centers. Every time a teacher walks out, you must recruit, run background checks, and retrain. And if a teacher calls in sick, you must find a licensed substitute immediately. Because if your ratios fall out of compliance for even 10 minutes, you risk losing your license. Temporary agency substitutes can cost double the hourly rate of your regular staff, wiping out your entire weekly margin in a single afternoon. Now, let us look at the second major economic factor: regulatory compliance. Daycares are subject to unannounced inspections by the health department, fire marshal, and licensing board. A single violation, like a missing background check or a broken outlet cover, can suspend your license. And the fire marshal will demand commercial-grade fire doors and emergency exits that must be inspected annually. These constant compliance inspections require a permanent investment in maintenance. And the paperwork required to maintain state subsidy programs is a massive administrative drag. This leads us to the third revenue stream: state and federal child care subsidies. In many working-class neighborhoods, a significant portion of families rely on state child care vouchers. These vouchers provide a steady, reliable stream of monthly revenue, but the government reimbursement rates are often significantly lower than private tuition, and the processing time for state payments can take up to 60 days, forcing you to float payroll and rent while waiting for government checks to clear. Now let us analyze your customer lifetime value and the problem of churn. Unlike a gym where members stay for years, children inevitably grow out of daycare. An infant stays in your highest cost room for only 12 months before moving to the toddler room. And by age 5, they move to public kindergarten, leaving your center entirely. This means you face a permanent annual customer churn rate of at least 20%. You must constantly market, tour new families, and fill vacant slots to maintain stability. If you have a cluster of children graduating to kindergarten in August, your revenue drops. While your high staff payroll and rent overhead stay exactly the same, this late summer transition is the most dangerous cash flow window of the year. Let us look at the fourth major operational factor: collections and bad debt. Unlike software companies, daycares must collect payments from local parents face-to-face. Late payments, declined credit cards, and empty promises are constant challenges. If you refuse to take a child because their parent is behind on tuition, it creates an emotional scene. But if you allow them to run a balance, that bad debt can quickly become unrecoverable. Daycare owners spend hours every week chasing down outstanding tuition balances, adding a major layer of stress and administrative friction to your day. Now, let us look at your third largest expense: liability insurance and workers' comp. Daycares are high-risk environments for accidents, injuries, and allegations. A single slip on the playground or a severe allergic reaction can trigger a lawsuit. Your general liability insurance and professional abuse coverage are massive fixed costs. And because childcare involves heavy physical labor, lifting, and constant movement, workers' compensation insurance rates for daycare staff are among the highest in the retail sector. A single injury claim from a teacher can cause your premiums to spike for years. This is why the best operators invest heavily in strict safety protocols and incident reporting, documenting every scratch and bump on a child to protect the center from liability. Let us look at the fifth major factor: food programs and consumables. Daycares must supply 3 meals and snacks a day to dozens of children. Meeting strict state nutritional guidelines is both expensive and logistically challenging. Many centers rely on the USDA Child and Adult Care Food Program for reimbursements, but the paperwork required to track and prove every meal served is immense. And the cost of milk, fresh fruit, and allergy-friendly meals continues to rise. In addition to food, you must purchase endless cleaning supplies, bleach, and gloves. Daycare staff must sanitize every single toy, crib, and surface at the end of every day, consuming hours of labor and thousands of dollars in commercial cleaning chemicals annually. This brings us to the sixth major factor: enrollment volatility and capacity limits. Your center's physical capacity is strictly capped by your licensed square footage. You cannot simply add more desks to a classroom to increase your revenue. If you are licensed for 50 children, that is your absolute revenue ceiling. But your enrollment is rarely a perfect flat line. Children drop out mid-year, families relocate, or parents change jobs. If your average occupancy drops from 95% to 80%, you are still paying for the exact same staff and building overhead, forcing you to absorb a massive financial hit with no quick way to recover. Let us put some real numbers on this entire business model. Imagine a mid-sized daycare center generating $50,000 a month in gross revenue, with $45,000 coming from private tuition and $5,000 from state food subsidies. Staff payroll, benefits, and payroll taxes will easily consume $25,000 a month. Rent on your compliant ground floor facility runs $10,000, and insurance adds $3,000. Utilities, food supplies, and cleaning consumables add another $5,000, leaving you with a net operating profit of $7,000 a month. That is a decent 14% profit margin for a highly complex operation. Now imagine a flu outbreak that keeps 20% of your children home, stopping tuition payments. Your revenue drops to $40,000, but your fixed staff, payroll, and rent stay at $38,000. Suddenly, your healthy margin shrinks to just $2,000 of breathing room. This is the financial reality of the childcare sector. A single staffing crisis or a spike in liability insurance can wipe out your profit instantly. Your cost structure is rigid, and your maximum capacity is legally capped at all times. A childcare center is not a simple set and forget investment. It is a highly active, high responsibility business requiring constant hands-on leadership. If you manage the ratios, retain your staff, and control the liabilities, it is a deeply rewarding service to your community.